Hello everyone, I'm the Modern Sea Witch, and I thought I'd give you an update on where I'm at currently. Uh, as you can see, back in my space. Um, been kind of trying to figure out whether I wanted to set my stuff back up in here or not. Um, for those of you that are watching this on video anyway, you can see that. Sorry if you're only listening. Um, Part of my practice before, I was in the open. I didn't have a space. So I had once I, brought my practice into the open, I've had a space for a little while now and I've liked having it. But at some point, we will be moving out of this particular house that we're in. And hey guys, fight behind me. Zoe and Hank. Zoe's my cat and she doesn't, can you see her? Nope, she must have ran. She's in the corner. Um, she's not fond of the dogs at all. Um, hey, hello. Zoe, stop it. She will do this when Hank hasn't even done anything to her. She'll just, she doesn't want them anywhere near her. Zoe, chill. Hank's just laying there. She's not as bad with Copper, our other Basset, but she really doesn't like Hank. All right, we got to calm down now. Probably will hear her from time to time. But as I was saying, I don't know for sure how long we'll be in this particular place. We had sold our house a couple of years ago, and so we're renting at the moment. And my next place that I could be living in for quite a while, at some point, will most likely be our RV when my husband decides to, retire from his job. So I need to be able to downsize, take my practice, wherever I go. So I was debating not setting the room back up, but I was missing it. So I decided to set it back up. And I set it back up a little differently than I had before. I don't know if you can hear that. My son's alarm clock is going off. He works night shift. So when I decided to set everything back up, I had done the altar thing. It's never been something I resonated with. Again, looking at all these different traditions and whether it's different forms of Wicca, which again, I don't really care for organized religion, so I don't want that structure. So I was researching I was researching traditional witchcraft, or at least was referred to as that. My brain, I had something different in mind from what I've been able to locate so far. So I discussed that in my last blog post, if you want to check that out. But since I had that realization that the tradition I'm seeking isn't really one that I've been able to locate so far, and it may not exist. It may only exist in my mind. So I don't want my space necessarily to be dictated by someone else's tradition. So I reset my space up. I don't have what I would call an altar. I do have space where, just like before, my workings, they ended up everywhere. They weren't just here in my witchy room. They weren't just here on what I had dedicated as my altar. They were all over the house. They were all over the house before when my practice was hidden. Just people didn't realize that's what it was. They just thought it was decor. Um, so uh, it feels good though to be back in here and kind of redoing it. Um, but with that change that I made and that recognition that the traditional witchcraft path that I was thinking was there isn't. I was struggling. Where do I go next? What's my path going to look like? I just feel lost and not sure where to go. So I was listening to some music. What was it? It's Gabriel Roth and the Mirrors. I think it was. They have a lot of good music used for ritual. If you haven't checked them out, which is why I have my headset on. I stopped as soon as I finished doing what I was doing because I was like, I need to talk about this before the thoughts are out of my head. So I was listening to that music. I was working on some stuff. And I decided at the end, I really wanted to do a tarot reading. I hadn't done one in probably a week or two or more. But I decided I was going to do a tarot reading. I needed to reconnect. I needed to, get myself back there. And I was feeling good. I was feeling connected to everything with the workings I was doing. So I was like, all right, I'm diving in. So I decided to ask the deck. And when I do my tarot readings, I am a huge skeptic. I sheltered myself from any knowledge of the craft for so long because I didn't want it reflected back to me. Didn't want people, judging my family for my choices. So I didn't even play with tarot cards, nothing. So I've been trying to learn tarot in this last year. So one person that I've looked at recently to help me get a little bit more familiar with tarot is Lisa Pepez, and actually two other readers as well that she has a joint channel with Three Fat Readers. So Lisa Pepez, Dustin, and from Modern Metaphysique, and Danny from Danny Mystic. If you're looking for some instruction on tarot or just more information or people that are fun to watch, check out their channels. But their channels on YouTube, I guess I should say. But I was doing this reading and I was using one of Lisa's methods, which is a little more conversational versus having a structured spread in mind going in. And so I had no idea how many cards I was going to pull. I had no idea, where I was laying the cards out, anything like that. That wasn't really my concern. I just wanted to reconnect with the deck and I wanted to puzzle out, I guess, this question that I've had. So I asked the deck while I was shuffling, and when I shuffle, decks are just so hard for me to shuffle. So I do a lot of overhand shuffling, and then as far as selecting, I'm a huge skeptic about all this, but even for my first tarot reading, it was obvious that there's something to it. I will spread the cards out. I'll fan them out on the surface in front of me, and I will close my eyes and just hover my hand, my left hand, that's supposed to be your more intuitive side, over the fanned cards until my left ring finger touches one of them. And then that's that card for that particular question or that point in the reading. I wanted something that I have no control over when I'm getting my responses. I don't, I'm not stopping and shuffling when I see a particular card. I try not to look at all when I'm shuffling. I'm not seeing, anything. I want to go into this blind, basically. So when I asked my question of the deck, I asked it, what did it want to reveal to me? And the first card I turned over was the Ace of Swords. Clarity in my logic. Yeah, definitely need clarity in my logic regarding my past. I've been wondering what's going on. I don't see how to go forward. So start shuffling again, and I shuffle it again. I want a completely random. I don't want that message is going to come through. I know it's really a message that's meant to come through, because it's not like I'm just taking the next card off the top of the deck. Again, I'm shuffling again in between each card, fan them out, eyes closed. I'm and selecting my card, doing that method where I run my hand back and forth, and it might take a few passes until something, like I said, my hand kind of goes up and down while I'm doing this. I don't try to hold it at a steady level. I'm trying not to allow my finger just to get tired and to just kind of fall onto one. So my second card that I got in this reading, when I asked what obstacle do I have to obtaining this clarity in my path, I got the King of Swords. Strategy. Yeah, my strategy's been flawed. I need to change that to figure out how to go forward. So my next card, I asked, all right, so you want to bring me clarity, and you're telling me that what I've been doing isn't right, or at least, that's what's been blocking me currently, is my current strategy. What's my path forward? How do I go forward? My next card, the Eight of Cups, departure. So, yeah, I need to leave that current way of thinking, that current strategy that I've had, seeking, my what I thought was going to be my tradition, or my path into furthering my witchcraft. But I wasn't sure how to go about that. So I decided to ask at that point, all right, well, I can see that you're telling me I need to leave that way of thinking. How do I do that? What do I do? And then I get the Six of Swords. So escape. So again, it's either just, I wasn't 100% sure whether this was more of just a reinforcement of the last card that I received, or if this was a little more figurative, or of an escape, or a literal escape. So, I have been thinking about, things we used to do a lot, what we used to do pre-pandemic. I used to go out to, day trips here and there, museums, or go to the go hiking or something, just to get out and get away. Starting to go stir crazy, being cooped up, for these long bouts that we've had. I usually once, well, again, this was all pre-pandemic, although I did do one about a year ago. I normally do a once a year trip by myself. It could be camping, it could be staying, a road trip, whatever. Just something where I get away by myself. It could be a couple of days, it could be a week, it could be, I think my longest one might have been 10 days that I did. But I get away by myself. I answer to no one. I do things according to my own schedule. If I feel like sleeping in, I sleep in. If I feel like, staying up all night, I stay up all night. It's a nice reset. So I'm not sure which it was leaning me towards, and it may be a combination of the two to help me change that logic. Maybe I need that physical escape. I'm not sure. But then I decided to ask, because I was like, all right, let's just keep tempting fate here. I figured I'd pull one final card. I asked, what would my path look like if I do change, depart from this current logic that I have, my current strategy, in my journey down my path so far. And I received the High Priestess. Intuition, hidden knowledge. So, yeah. So I will find my path. I just need to keep that in mind. I've been seeking myself all this time. And I got sidetracked, trying to, once again, follow others. And while I highly value learning from others, I've got to remember not to lose myself in the process. To listen to my own intuition when it comes to my practice, and to do what feels right to me. And then the hidden knowledge I'm seeking will be revealed. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. And be sure to catch up on any blog post you might have missed, any other podcast episodes. They are up on Spotify, Google, Audible, and Amazon Music. And if you have any questions, please be sure to comment down below in the description boxes on any of the platforms. You can reach out to me as well on the website. There's a contact request. So yes, I'd love to hear from you. I love hearing about other people's practices and what they do. I love sharing ideas, but I know ultimately I'll have to follow my own path. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.